I'm here to talk about sort of what the policies are that sort of made this sort of policing legal, right? And so that's police militarization. And we've seen this happen within the last few years now, especially and probably not coincidentally with the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm here to talk about police militarization in the era of NYPD Commissioner Bratton, who, despite stepping down today, is leaving a legacy in the form of an NYPD army that will continue to terrorize communities, especially communities of color here in the city. So since he began in 2014, Bratton increased the number of cops in the NYPD and ramped up military equipment and escalation tactics. This summer, Bratton bought $7.5 million worth of military-style gear, okay? From ballistic vests, helmets, vehicles, tactical escape hoods, rifles, tear gas, which we've seen used against nonviolent protesters time and time again, and tasers. Last year, Bratton called for 1,000 new cops, raised the number of SWAT cops under the Critical Response Command to 527, and put 700 officers into the anti-protest police unit called the Strategic Response Group. Through the Urban Areas Security Initiative this year, Bratton, along with Hillary Clinton, ensured the NYPD receives $180 million from the Department of Homeland Security. Our tax dollars are going into police militarization. Despite Obama's proposal to decrease the national budget going to police militarization and OASI all over the country from $660 million to $300 million, it wasn't passed. Bratton's police militarization is much more than just the military assault rifles that the NYPD is increasingly walking around with. It's also policing tactics like broken windows or the raiding of project buildings that mimic counterinsurgency that the U.S. military uses across the world. It is how the police treat neighborhoods of color as occupied zones where communities are treated as enemies and criminals to be surveilled, raided, jailed, and shot. This is the NYPD's war on New York City, and in particular, the NYPD's war on poor communities of color. Thankfully, though, the people of New York City, like those here, are looking for a world that looks at safety beyond policing, beyond militarism.